So we have method 1 and method 2. So the question asks you to describe what happened in the picture from method 1 to method 2. Some thoughts? Cam?
I'm not too familiar with this, but I said that the equation, no amounts were changed, but the equation was rearranged to fit that equation.
Okay. So that's great. The amounts are the same. That's a great notice. And then the other thing he's noticing is that the equations changed. So that's a great place to start off. So we know that we could talk about the picture and how the picture changed. So how did the picture change? Addie, how did the picture change?
They separated the 2 bags and the 2 coins.
Okay, so they took these and they separated them. So how did they separate them?
They put 1 bag, like, it kind of made a pattern of 1 bag and then 2 coins.
Okay, that's a great thing to notice. They made a pattern, 1 bag, 2 coins, 1 bag, 2 coins. Do we see something here? Because if you look over here, we have this equation here, then it equals 12. Well, what do you think the 12 represents? Otis?
The amount of coins.
The amount of coins. So we have no change here. But we have change from this picture to that picture, and then from this equation to that equation. So Addie said, if you notice that we have this pattern, how does it show up over here? How does that pattern show up there? Taya? What do you see in the picture to the equation?
There is 4 coins
Mm-hmm.
and 2 bags. So you would, since there's 4 coins in the beginning part, you take out 4 coins
From over here. Okay, if we were solving it, that's exactly what we would do. Right? We would say, oh, hey, I got 4 coins here, take out 4 coins over here. But what do we notice about the change from here to here and the equation here to here? Because up here, 2 bags, 4 coins. And then all of a sudden, we have something different. Austin.
So the equation changed from 2x plus 4 to 2x plus 2.
Oh, that's not 2x. That's 2 times, parentheses, x plus 2.
Because they took away the 4 from method 1 and then separated, since the coins are separated, they matched it with the equation, right?
Yeah?
And so that would be the plus 2.
So what does this 2 mean? What is this 2 that all of a sudden is in the outside of this equation? What is that?
The coin by the counting.
Okay, so then what does that 2 mean then?
The coins that you, I don't know.
Eva?
So method 2, the equation, how they made it was like, so the 1 set of 2 in 1 pouch, they just put that part of the equation down and just multiplied it.
So okay, if I'm hearing you right, you're saying this here, okay, the x plus 2 is that right there.
That's what I was trying to say.
That's why she did such a good job, is because you said 50% of it and then she finished it. So if this x plus 2, Austin, is this, what's the 2?
The 2.
She just said it. What's the 2, Dylan?
Wait, no.
Did you hear what she said, Eli? So we know that the x plus 2 is this. No, it's not the bags. Say it again, Justin. It's the groups. How many groups do we have? 1, 2. So this 2 is one group there, one group there. And it's saying I have 2 groups of 1 bag and 2 coins. Does that make sense? Right? Because we know X is pouches, and 2 is coins. So the 2 is saying, hey, I have 2 groups of a pouch and 2 coins. You see that, Peyton? It's pretty cool. So what's interesting is this is exactly the same thing, right? We didn't change any values. We just changed how it looked. You guys remember what we call this property? Distributive property. Good, Connor. Yeah. Distributive property. And so the way it works is if I have something like this, and you've never seen the distributive property, Schmitty? You've never seen it with a variable. The way it works is the 2 gets multiplied by the x, and the 2 gets multiplied by the 2. So what's 2 times x? 2x plus, and what's 2 times 2? 4. So that is where they get this. They say, hey, I have 2 groups in here. I'm going to make it so it's one group, and I'm going to multiply it by how many groups I have. So my question that I want you to talk about at your tables would be, and remember, you need to, whoa. Wow, it's like permanent ink. So my question is this: what would happen if I did this? Oh, whoops, there's my upside down. Wrong one. My beautiful pouch with my 2 coins. How's that going to change this over here? Talk to your groups.
If you add 2 coins in a pouch.
The 3.
How's it going to change?
3x plus 2.
Yeah, answer the question. Okay, sorry.
No.
So
You do 2.
So Braden was saying this. Braden's saying it's not going to be a 2 anymore. He's like, that has to be a 3 because now I have 3 groups. So I need to multiply this one group by 3. So it'd be now when I do the distributive property, it'd be 3x plus 6 because it's 3 times x, 3 times 2. That's that distributive property. Questions about that? We're going to be using the distributive property today to help us do this. Talking about equality and the coins and pouches. Yes?
Is it okay if I ask an off-topic question?
Nope, not yet. All right, grade book. You know the midterms are going to be mailed out next week. So, whatever your grade is now, I have a few more grades I got to put in from people that passed in late stuff, but I'll get that updated tomorrow,
Just send them out.
and then that's what you get. All right, so I have Blades is over there, McConaughey is over here. Dylan and Connor, you're leading the discussion. Okay? E should be an interesting discussion.
Oh, right.
Yeah, Connor, I was like looking over that.
Yeah. That's okay. You can still lead the discussion about E. Okay, grab your homework. Come on over. Okay, circle up and please let those 2 lead the discussion.
Even though I did my homework, can I still go over there and look at these problems?
You can come over and listen
Yeah, that's
and to see what they say. Smitty, you got homework? All right, so let's get going. Hennessy, yeah. Homework. Let's get going. Smitty, Tatiana, please put your feet down.
What did you get?
Yes.
I did this, but I was really sick. I didn't get to check that one.
Okay. I got you, Eli. Thank you. Yeah. Hey guys, why don't you back up just a little bit? Give Connor some space.
I think I did E wrong.
Huh?
I did E wrong, I think.
It's hard. It's hard. It's okay.
Yeah, I did that wrong.
Yeah, it's 7.
But I agree with you on everything else. Okay.
But you guys got. I want you to talk about E, and I want you to continue checking.
What?
I don't have E.
I said it equals 2.
I did too.
Whether that's right or not, I don't know.
You haven't.
Yeah, I wrote it
Okay,
down.
so it's basically saying that there's three groups. There's 3 groups of 4.
For 2, I got 7.
Yeah. Oh right, I forgot. I wrote the wrong number again.
CB.
Wow.
What is that? Is that a bag?
It's supposed to be yes.
It looks like broccoli.
My goal is to change
Like broccoli.
no, it's different.
Did you just say bra chicks or
Okay.
raw chicks?
Okay. Well, for E, Justin, what did you do for E?
I never show my work.
Nope. You didn't do
I
it.
don't show my work.
Too bad.
So I'm guessing I did something.
Okay, so let's see.
Like you could do better, Braden.
I think. Okay, so I'm confused. Explain your work, please.
That long neck.
Okay.
What did you draw? There we go.
Okay, explain your work, Justin.
I did something right, I think. So 18. So that's 18.
Oh yeah, click.
That's is 5.
Click.
4.
Why?
It's a number. We have 3 pouches, like, or something. Yeah.
What?
Okay.
But it counts. I don't know.
Oh no.
I asked my mom for help. She gave me the answer
That's what my dad did too.
for the last one.
My dad stood behind me and
What'd you get?
Okay.
21. Hold on.
So I
21. You got 21. Yeah.
I think what you would do is like there's 3 groups, and then you would multiply 3 times 4,
I'm gonna give
and then that would be some like 4, 8, 12. So
I
then
got
you need.
negative 75.
Hey, do you see these guys?
Okay.
How are we doing over here?
We did good.
Did we talk about?
Did you do E?
No, I kind of forgot to do it.
I'm not sure how I got my answer.
Connor did.
Wait,
I did the same.
Well, are we all good here though?
Yeah.
Okay. You can raise. All right, head back to your seats. All right, so we're on problem 3.3. You're going to use the back side of your sheet. In about 10 minutes, I'm going to interrupt and we'll go back to the learning part for today. But 3.3, page 63, you're doing B as a group. And it's a challenging problem.
On the back of this.
Okay, on the back side. Yep.
With our partner.
Yes. With your partners. Tables, yeah. Ta-da! Okay, read the problems. Make sure you read the problems, and so we know what's going on. So you chose to sit back here. All right, so get going.
Okay, B.
Not that she doesn't want to talk.
You're gonna break it.
That's why we're back here. And that's what he said he wanted a space where you could talk. He said I want to talk to Pat Daniel.
Just leave it there. Okay, for each equation,
It's a good spot to know.
use your strategies from question A to solve the equation. Check your answers. Okay, use your strategies.
I didn't do question A though.
Yeah, it was basically what we did the day before you were gone. He was gone all week.
Yeah, I was gone all week.
No, you weren't.
Yes, I was. I was in Mexico.
But he was gone. Okay. Okay.
What's a coin? Use your strategies for questions.
It's pretty self-explanatory.
I don't remember what strategies we used. This is not a coin.
We did like canceling out and stuff like that.
Why is it on my end?
Okay, it's not moving. You broke it.
Yeah, the lights are on already.
Now keep it down.
No, stay.
It needs to hear Eva. Okay. Apparently it needs to hear me. Yeah, you could like say something.
Check your answer. 30 equals 6 plus 4.
He knows how to do it, so he'll be a good resource.
What are we supposed to do though?
Go like this, Eva.
You write coins?
Yeah. Make 30 coins. You don't have to do that, you know. I know, but Eli needs to learn how to do it. Okay, make coins then. Draw those. 30.
30.
I told you it was a bad idea. Just remove all over the page.
30. You put it yourself.
And you can use coins and
Can I do 30? Just go by 4.
Or
What if I just do 30?
you can use equality. So whatever we do to one side, we make sure.
So basically, I got my answer and I'm checking it now. Waiting for you guys. Yep.
What if I just do that? Can I do that?
Oh, I see.
What?
Coins.
Right.
Yeah.
The equation.
Solved it.
You could just write down the equation and figure it out from using the equation.
have to do this? Otis got wrecked.
He just skips all steps. He just gets to the answer. You guys make it.
Equals 6 what? 6 pouches?
You're right there. So just for clarity, when you have 30 equals 6 times 4x, in coins and pouches, what does the 4x represent?
The pouches.
Pouches. Okay? And what does the 6 represent?
The amount of coins left.
Coins. Okay? And then what does the 30 represent?
The total coins.
Total coins. Okay.
10 out of 10.
So
It's 10 out of
6
10.
coins in each bag.
It's in my way.
6 equals 30. There you go.
It's 6 coins in each bag, right?
That's what I got.
So I would write the equation underneath.
How did you get your answer? Let's discuss this.
I did this.
Okay.
I used common knowledge. I crossed out 6 from 30. That's 24. What's 24 divided by 4? It's 5. You realize that?
You guys do it.
Eva, you broke it. No, Ditboo was on tape.
Eva, you broke it.
We're blaming this on you because it was you. We have evidence. Okay,
I'm
fine.
not saying to me.
You can do that and go
Way
on.
to go, okay? I don't care
to
what
get
who
my
it
tape.
is.
Okay, so are you on B2 yet?
Yep.
Yeah. How many coins per pouch?
6.
Oh wow.
It's 6, right?
What?
Isn't it 6
Yeah,
coins?
for B1. B2 7x equals 5 plus 5x. Okay.
What do we do in science? We're doing projects.
Yeah.
I'm good at that though, so better than you.
You have to remember all the bones today for the science test.
All the bones. 206 bones. Maybe.
You're joking.
Never mind.
But now, Justin, do you understand what they're saying? It's like
1.
3 groups of
Otis, you couldn't name 10. He gave me my $8 this morning. He gave me $8, not 10. He still owes me $2.
It's
Okay, you don't owe me 10.
What are you stuck on?
It's listening. That's the Russians. What? This isn't making any sense.
All right, B2. 7.
You can get rid of those on both sides too.
7. 1.
Wait, what did you? This isn't adding. It's 2.5 coins.
Five touches on the other. What can I do?
So it's
I get rid of
$2.50.
5 over here and
Because each coin is
here. If I
$2.
get rid of 5
I'm on
over here, I had 7. How many pouches do I have? I had 7 pouches.
2.5.
She's not
being a total
bully
today.
Something's
strange.
Is this the real evil?
5 pouches over here. I have 7 pouches over here.
Oh wow, I see how it is.
Everyday
Though?
All 5
What?
pouches.
Isn't that her everyday look?
If I get rid of 5 pouches here, what do I do?
It's listening.
5 pouches over here.
It needs to know it's evil.
So in 1, it's 6 coins per pouch. And number 1.
I can't see my page when it's there. Okay, leave it alone.
Excuses. You just don't want the Russians to realize you betrayed. Mr. McFarland, you broke it.
Okay.
Sure, that's how it happened.
Yeah, you knocked it. You did not. You threw it.
You're the ones who put it right there, and you finished the deal. Yep. Okay, whatever you say.
What'd you get for B2?
Okay, you have to check your answer every time.
Yeah. So if I divide this side by 2, yes.
What'd you get for B2? I got
Or x plus 40. What's up?
3.5, right? Number 3.
Ooh, yeah.
I'm
It's
not
a good
there
one.
yet because I'm checking.
You can't do
my
half a
answer.
coin, Otis.
Right,
I
no,
know
no, hold on.
exactly, but you
So,
have to.
If I have
can't.
7 pouches,
What is number 2? What is number 2?
2.5.
I almost was like,
But you can't do half a coin.
Yeah, you can.
No.
It couldn't be $2.50 because it's a coin that we're talking about.
Yeah, it's like half a penny.
So what
You
can I
can't. What if you took a $1 coin, cut it in half? It'd be 50 cents.
do? So then I'm left with how many pouches?
Think about it.
With 5 whole coins. So now this is.
Eli, do you know how to
where it
do
gets
the
weird.
equation thing?
5 divided by
Or are you just
2
copying
is-
Eva?
I'm seeing what she's doing because I am very confused.
It doesn't
Okay,
seem-
so
because
basically-
what they're trying to do is move your
Now I
weight.
We're
get
trying
it.
to figure out how many coins are in each pouch.
Yeah, I know. So there's 5 coins left over. There's 7 total pouches.
And
Wait,
then you
no.
can just like cancel it out.
I did. Coach.
Judge.
No, it'd be 2 coins and then 1 left over.
Yeah. So are you on 2?
Yeah.
So how many? So you're getting a 2.5, right?
Yeah.
And I know you guys are thinking about coins, and you're like, how can you have half a coin?
At first, though, this is like $2.50.
But that's what it is. It's,
But what if it was a gold coin? You could cut it in half and then
See. He's ready. He's ready to start cutting coins.
Could you explain how to like use it from the equation again?
So take your answer of 2.5 because that's what x equals. So where do you put 2.5 back in? 7 times 2.5 equals 5 plus 5 times 2.5. So this goes back in. And that's how you check.
Oh, okay.
So it's called substitution. You substitute that back in. Who messed with the mic and ripped it off?
No, they put it here, and then they moved it.
I got evidence, huh?
Yeah, Eva was like, okay,
Yeah.
Fine, I guess
Yeah.
it was my fault, guys. Blame it all
felt,
on
it
me,
felt
you
like a
know.
crack and it ripped through.
Okay, so now you're going to solve what x is. Tell me what x is here.
Alright.
X is here. X is this.
7 baggies.
That's when you get to choose.
1,
It's
2,
either, I'll be over there, guys.
4, 5.
It's either equality, which equality tells me whatever I do to this side,
I'm a visual
I
learner.
have to do that side.
Gotta make
Which
pouches.
is,
Same. I'm
She's
I
gonna
can
make
use my
pouches.
coins and pouches.
Pouches. Those are
We
water
all do.
balloons. Those are water balloons. Don't those look like water
So
balloons?
I'm going to get rid of
Yes.
Why does everybody judge my
Pouch.
drawing?
This is a
This is math.
pouch.
We're not supposed to be drawing.
Yes, you are. Drawing is life. Drawing is math.
Drawing tame.
Yeah, I know, it doesn't have to be perfect.
Architecture.
Okay, I get
Makes
it.
math.
Chill.
Chill. Remember that? She's like that meme this morning.
I'm not picking your pencil up. Where is it? Oh, you can pick it up and bring it down.
See, Otis is a good friend, so I'll pick it up and throw it at me.
2
You
bags
said it was your friend.
by 5 coins. So you get to
Thank
split
you,
one
Otis.
half, put it half in each bag. So then it becomes 2.
Did you just knife me? Now you're Sir Otis.
2.5. So how do you check that answer?
You put your foot behind the line.
It's far behind the line.
This is the divider. If you cross the divider, your foot will get chopped off.
Yep. It should be 7
By the alligator that lives under my
equals
desk.
5 plus 10.
You guys.
Wait, I'm confused. So, do you do the x variable first, Eva?
What do you mean?
For to like find the answer? Do you do x
What do you
variable?
mean?
No, to
I
like
still
use
don't get what you're
use
talking
the
about.
equation to find the answer.
To find the answer?
What do you do first? Do you use the x?
Like, what do you mean?
Yeah, like instead of since you're not doing visual learning, how are you doing it?
Yeah. What are you doing?
How do you do that?
How do I do what?
What you're doing?
What am I doing?
You're doing something different.
Eva press the power button.
Special.
I know, No, I did not. No. No. Stop. Stop touching my arm. I'm trying.
Are you doing number 3?
That's really good thinking.
Stop.
Are you doing number 3?
Yeah, I'm doing number 3.
Okay.
Yes.
Because
You
you're like,
are?
how do you
It
do
is
that?
impossible.
I'm gonna watch how you do
Is that what
it.
you
It
got
is
to?
rigged.
I don't know.
No,
what
never
you're
mind. I'm
talking
just gonna
about,
do
but I'm
visual
doing
learning because
differently.
it's way easier.
Yeah, visual learning is better.
What am I doing differently?
Nice, okay.
Do you not see what my paper has on it?
It's got water balloons.
What's that? Water balloons and pig eyes?
These are so judgmental.
No, we're just doing visual
judgmental.
learning. We're doing
You have
architecture.
5.
What?
You are like
What's the name of a word?
What?
I know I am a queen, thank you.
We never said that. You are like a peasant in a cell.
she's the queen of cells.
I can subtract.
No, you're not quite there. You're janitor.
You're janitor of
5 points. So how many spoons in each cup? 2 pouches, 5.
Probably a janitor.
You realize we're on like recording.
Yes. On camera, guys. I have you on camera bullying me.
You know we got that?
You know how much you bully us on
You
camera?
bully us all the time. Can't say much.
No. Well, it's not on camera.
I know.
Yeah, but we still have evidence.
Yeah, I put
What's
a
your
recorder in my
evidence?
pocket.
You're our evidence.
How?
Just knowing your personality is evidence.
I'm a little bit of
This one's. What is this one though? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Alright.
Wait, why are we on film?
Isn't
I don't
this one
understand how this
6?
is gonna help.
The number 3 is 6.
I can't see what we're doing on the papers.
It's number 3 6.
They can. You barely could do that.
It's number 3 6.
Ask great about it.
Yeah, like where?
Number 3 6.
Totally understood.
What?
Number 3 6.
Number 3 6. I got 5.
How is it 5? There's 12 total coins, and there's 2 bags. 6.
Where did you get? You're talking about number 3.
Yes.
Where did you get 12 coins and 2 bags? You have to cancel out the coins as well.
Oh.
Yeah, I got 5 too. Okay.
Yeah, now it's 5.
Nice! Eva gets it.
I know.
Yeah. This was like, what are you doing?
Come on. But yeah, you get it. You totally get that what that 2 means. 2 groups of.
Oh, yeah.
You get that it means 2 groups of x plus 4.
Oh, I was wondering what someone stole my.
That's what it is. That's what that
No,
means.
I wasn't wondering what that was. I was wondering which equation you were talking about.
He's really confused, I think.
Yeah,
But-
I know what you're talking about now.
Do you? Do you understand that means I have 2 groups of a pouch and 4 coins? Okay. Right, coming.
Oh, this one is like this, right?
8 divided by 2.
1, 2.
Okay, so here's the thing. Now, the idea is that you can use point pouches or you can use equality, right? So, what does that 2 mean? Do you remember the bottom of the 2?
I almost went home. The devil paper stew stole my paper. My mom was like, I'll pick you up from school because I said I had a headache. I have to do a 3-hour drive after school. So I almost went, why? I'm going to Taos so I can shred the gnar.
Gnarly. Stop this conversation.
Two groups of one pouch.
Isn't this like how you do it right? So you do it right? See? 1, 2, 1, 2.
You have
4 equals 4.
What?
now.
You were saying?
Pay attention to us, please.
I'm trying to do my work here.
You can't getting you a good partner if you don't pouch.
Listen, he's like, isn't this and this and this and this? And then he says it like 6 times.
Don't get that.
No.
You don't get it back.
No. No, the whole pen.
There's 4 coins in each pouch, by the way.
Yeah, I know. I'm already done.
Give me the cap. We have to do an extension. Is this a pen?
Give me the cap.
She said
To my pen. I said the cap to my pen.
You're in Civil Air Patrol too?
What?
You're in Civil Air
Get a
Patrol.
little more.
How do you possess like, you know that these have holes on top, so if you're stupid and swallow them, you won't die instantly. It's known fact.
They probably made it.
You stole my pen.
Oh yeah, I stole your pen. That's how it happened.
Okay, what?
Problem 14.
Okay, but what
Page
does
71. Have it now. You're talking.
Today we're gonna do some ASMR.
two groups? Two groups of what?
My name is
Tell me what.
ASMR.
Are you happy?
No. Does not mean that. The X means couches.
Okay. Put it down. Look at it. Stop touching it.
I'm gonna watch the video. Hello. Hi.
Oh no, Eva, you've been dropping your one pouch and 4 coins. So I got a pouch and 4 coins, So I have 2 groups.
Why is it on my side?
You can see right there. Oh my god. Stop.
Yeah, Otis, leave it.
Yes.
Smooth. No, he just like tripped over his chair.
No, it's in the middle now.
Okay, yeah, see, I fixed it.
You fixed it. I don't like being
Yep.
Don't worry, keep his head moving.
She just said right
Solve each equation for x.
Your answer is 6 coins. B2 is 2.5.
We're on to the next problem.
Is 5. B4 is 4 coins.
Oh, are we doing all of these now? We're doing 14A through...
Stop.
I'm not going to move my foot.
Your foot is past the border.
Fine.
You passed my border again, and I'll have to launch a pull out.
Where?
Ow.
I was walking to class.
You should have went into the office.
So, Eli, we're doing 14A through E and we're solving for x. 13?
Okay, I would like you guys to take your paper and turn it over. Thanks, Eva, for ruining my... This was a great tape job. Video evidence, Otis. Otis, video evidence. Video evidence. Yeah. All right. So, I just want to go over some of this math around having multiple pouches and stuff like that, and distributive property. So here I have an equation, and I have this 2 on the outside. And what does that 2 represent on the outside? Groups. How many groups I have. So this 2, which is kind of crossed out, represents I have 2 groups of a pouch and 3 gold coins. So that would be Shmi. Come over here by JLo, please, because it's been just a lot of talk. So this is one group. Oh my goodness, I'm making my pouches upside down now. Yeah. There's the second group. That's what that 2 means. Another way that I could figure this out is taking the 2 and redistributing it by multiplication to each of the numbers inside the parentheses. So this becomes 2x, and then I go 2 times 3, which is 6. And I know that that equals this.
Are we supposed to write that down?
You can follow along, yes, right? That's why I give you the sheet. So now I'm left with trying to figure out what x could be. So I recognize I have 3x over here, I have 2x over here. I know that I can get rid of this 2x by subtracting 2x from both sides. So that becomes 0. This is 6 equals x plus 3. Okay. Now we have, this looks like this. Y equals mx plus b. So what's my y-intercept in this linear relationship here? It's the 3. This is my, this is my y-intercept. And you can take these notes. Okay? 6 is my dependent variable. X is my independent variable. So where's the m? It is the rate, but where? What is it and where is it? You guys remember this? Why I'm doing this? It's there.
Oh, it's the plus, right?
And it is a 1. You don't see it. Okay? The reason why you don't see it is anything times 1 is... Right. I know what you're saying, Addie. It's anything times 1 is whatever that thing is, right? Here it's x. So the reason why you don't put it down is you don't need it because it doesn't really change. But there is a rate here, and that rate is 1. And so then this is my rate. So from this equation, I can actually create a linear relationship where I have a rate of 1, which means I go 1 over on the x and I go 1 up on the y. So I have a rate of 1. It's like over 1, up 1, over 1, up 1. And every time I go over 1, up 1, I put a dot. So this has a rate of 1. The y-intercept would be at, that right there would be 3. Okay, and I know the point 6, and then that would have to be 3, would be on there. So this point right here would be 3 on the x, 6 on the y. So, any questions about that? That from this kind of wacky looking equation, I can create a linear relationship, and that's it right there. In that, you have a rate of 1. Okay, everything else you guys have got. Like I don't need to do this down here because I feel like you're getting it. So turn it back over. 14 is pretty tricky, especially B. So when you get there, if you need any help, just raise your hand. I'll come by. But yeah, 14B can be a little tricky. Did you already get it? So what did you do with the 5? Yeah.
Added it.
Nice. To both sides?
Yeah.
That's awesome, Dylan. Because that's how you get rid of that -5, is by adding 5. Okay, so you're on it. This is the hard one that I was just talking about. How would I get rid of -5?
Adding 5?
And so you add 5 to both sides. So that's the first time that you've seen a minus. So yeah, that's how you do it.
Strange person.
It's like -20 up there with wind chill. It's -20 up at Monarch with wind chill.
It is? It's -20?
Yeah.
I don't want to go skiing
Sure.
tomorrow.
That's today. It's -4 and then with wind chills like -20.
Yeah.
Talk about being warm.
I haven't gone skiing in 3 years. I've never gone skiing or camping.
So now ready? What are you going to do with this -5?
Wait, you already did that.
Because this is interesting. Hold on. Because I see you put a minus there. That was smart. So how do you get rid of a -5?
You add a negative.
Don't add a negative. Add a positive. Because a -5 is like adding a -5. So it's like having -5. So how do you get rid of a -5? Adding 5. So if I add 5 to this side, what do I do over here? Add 5 to the other side. That's awesome, guys. That's equality. That's what equality is all about. Sometimes you're going to subtract. Sometimes you're going to add.
Yeah. Wait.
I didn't do this right.
Are you on 4?
Yeah. That's not right, is it? Because that's the group, right?
So, hold. Yes, it would be 8. Because 2 times that's going to be 2x, right? And 2 times 4 is going to give you 8.
Yeah. And then 8 divided by 2, right?
Yeah. Wait, hold on. 8 divided by 2.
Then that's the...
Well, I'm going to have... I love what you're doing here. I would just do it just a little... I would go like 2x plus 8 equals 16. And then I see what you did. You subtracted 8. So now you have 8 over here. And you have 2x. And then you divide by 2. Okay. I just couldn't quite see your thought process because you're doing most of it up here. And it was just hard to see it down there.
What are we supposed to do again? B? You said B?
14A through E. B is hard. It's different. It's just different. You haven't seen it before.
No, well, I did B. I'm trying.
You're more than trying. You're killing it. Just keep. You, whatever. You didn't miss one problem on the top. You didn't miss one problem.
Wait a minute. If you subtract 5,
Yeah.
What do you mean, like, add?
How do you get rid of... So when you're minusing a positive is like adding a negative. So you can look at that -5 as being a -5. It's the same thing. So how do you get rid of a -5? Add 5.
but I did.
Because then that brings it to 0, and then it's gone.
Okay.
So if I get rid of that 5, what do I do with the other side? I add 5 as well. If I add 5 here, I add 5 there.
Okay, so then you have to be add 5
To 20, so you get 25. So now you have 3 pouches and 25 coins.
Yeah, but it's go in between.
No, it's not going to go in easy.
It's gonna go in 8 times, but then it has 1 remaining.
3, 3, 3, 3, 3. Yep, that's it. Taya's got it.
And then C.
Yeah, I know. Questions?
I have the hiccups and it's just
Yeah, that's a good one.
So on negative 3, so you would have to have more than 5 coins in each pouch, like probably like 10 or 8 coins in each pouch. Just there's at negative 3.
Yeah. So how so in order to because you end up with a positive number.
Yeah.
Okay. So in order to get a positive number, if I have a negative times a number, if I want to get a positive number at the end, what do I know about that x? What does it have to be?
It has to be a positive so you can add it.
Has to be a negative. Why?
Because you're doing the different thing.
A negative
Times a equals a positive.
Yeah.
Okay. So now if you think about that, we know that has to be a negative number.
Mm-hmm.
So how do I get rid of 5?
subtract 5.
Subtract 5.
That's 15.
15. So negative 3x. What's 15 divided by negative 3?
So it'd be negative 5.
Negative 5.
Well, that's what was my first thought, but I wasn't sure about having negative 5 coins.
It's that negative times a negative. Are you getting this, Cam?
What?
You get it?
Well, you have to add 20, so then it would be 40.
All right, guys, go ahead. Put away your work. Great job today. That was top-notch stuff. Okay, this is hard. I mean, but I'm going to have you work in your groups. So, problem 19, A, B, C, D. It's on page 72.
Oh, homework.
Problem 19, A, B, C, D. This is substitution. This is how you check your answers in algebra. It tells you what x is, put it into the equation, and figure out if it's equal. It really is, it would take you 5 minutes. Okay? Yep, but get it done, Mateus. Get her done. All right. Remember, it's not about how long, it's about what kind of homework you do. And I try to give you guys very specific, targeted homework. All right. We're talking about equality and how things are equal. So this is not quite lined up with that, but I want you to think, you got 2 students. I want you to find the error that student 1 made and the error student 2 made. So there's 2 things you have to do. 1, write down what was the error that student 1 made. 2, what was the error student 2 made. The last thing you have to do is actually solve it. It's the same problem on both sides, so you only have to really solve it once. So work in your groups, figure out what student 1 did wrong, what did student 2 do wrong, okay, and then solve it. Go for it.
Wait. 6 times. Look at on the second one for student 2, you do 6 times x, but then you're not multiplying 6 by 4, so you'd have to be able to multiply 6 times.
Good work. Good work. They didn't quite finish the distributive property, right?
Yeah.
They distributed it the first time, but then didn't distribute it the second time. Defense.
Oh, don't, no,
Hi, it's not on me. Hi, what's going on?
Let's figure out number 1.
Okay, brain. Because, what am I trying to say?
Student 1 is definitely, I think, the more challenging one. Because if I think about student 1, how do I get rid of a 6 that's being multiplied?
You subtract it.
No.
You divide it.
What did they do?
They subtracted 6.
They subtracted it. You can't do that to a 6 that's being multiplied. The only way you can get rid of a 6 that's being multiplied is to divide it or distribute it. They just said, oh, there's a 6, let's just subtract it from both sides. Can't do that.
He doesn't know that if there's not a multiplication sign there, that's still.
Exactly. That this means multiplication, then you can't. The inverse of multiplication is division. That's the only way to undo this, is to divide it by 6. And what he did, he's like, oh, I'm just going to subtract 6. So he took it away here and then subtracted 6 there. That doesn't work.
That kid.
Man, how dare them?
You don't even know what you're talking about.
I know.
Okay, what about student 2? Yeah.
For the in the first parentheses, is they add the 6 and x, and then multiply the 6 and x, and then add the 4. And
So what did they forget to do here?
multiply the 4 and the 6.
Yes. They distributed the 6 here, got 6x, but then just brought down the 4. But that means, remember, this 6 means I have 6 groups of that. So if I have 6 groups, that means I've got 4, 4, 4, 4, 4, 4. If I add all those 4 together, I get 24, which is 6 times 4.
But they also did the parentheses 6 on the wrong side.
It is. Smitty says, yes, you are right. Now you got to solve it. And we're almost out of time.
I know the answer.
All right, guys. I can't keep you beyond the time. So, I won't grade you on solving it, but you need to have that written down about what student 2 did. We're passing those in, and I'll be grading them over the weekend. Not those. So passing, you want to do yours. So don't pass it until it's done. Find my chair.
I didn't even know what you were talking about. Yeah, but I can't.
Oh, put it. Warm up and exit tickets. Go up here with your name, please. Minus 20. So no, it's okay. It would be frigid. 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 And I will say, like places like Garfield would have been okay. Pano would have been good because it was a straight northwest wind. It would have been deep.
Exactly.
And Pano.
Good snow.
Breezeway would have been. Yeah.
I was following your things to recording.
Oh. Hey, look at that.